Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. My name is Rainiac. I'll be your host for this evening. And to my virtual left, knock knock, who's there? Mirrors, it's Freezing Inferno.
Hey! You answered the joke for me. I was about to do a whole thing.
Well, that wouldn't be, you would have jumped in the introduction ahead of time. Anyway, to my virtual right, nobody, because our planned guest is out of town for the next week.
Oh no, out of town or sucked into the wooden walls and halfway there. Going,
they said they were out of town, so I don't think they'd be able to communicate if they were sucked into the walls. But yeah, I will level with you. We did have plans to bring on a first-time guest to the podcast, but unfortunately they are unavailable. So hopefully we can arrange something later in the series. Because they're kind of
You're not getting out of that so easily.
You signed the contract, goddammit.
Jeez. Well, that's topical because we're talking about an episode where an old man says you signed the contract. It's knock knock.
Yes, we're talking about knock knock. Actually, before we get into that, can I just do a little bit of a throwback to last week? Because there's something that must be addressed. At the end of last week, you weren't here. You weren't here, but you've listened to it. Mm-hmm. I got into a bit of a rant about people blaming things on social justice bullshit or social justice warrior bullshit. I got it slightly wrong. It wasn't actually the punch that people have been objecting to. It's certain seemingly pandery lines, like the things about food sexism back in Smile and things like that.
History is a whitewash?
Yeah, things like that. And I actually had a couple of interesting exchanges on social media the past week that were basically trying to convince me that I was wrong and actually these lines were pandery. And I personally still disagree with that, but these people are entitled to their opinion.
Even if they're wrong. I'm just playing.
No, these people are entitled to their opinion.
I know you're trying to make like everything right.
I'm trying to make peace, and here you will start the fire again.
Oh god! And here I am with the fucking fire flu.
I'm trying to extend the olive branch, and there you are slapping it out of my hand.
Okay, go ahead.
So the point is that I don't think I was wrong, but maybe I was a little bit heavy-handed. So there's that. Okay, let's talk about the episode in question then. Let's talk about Knock Knock, a first-time writer, Mike Bartlett. Who I didn't recognize wasn't too familiar with, but it turns out he will actually have another show on TV this week on BBC. He did a stage play called King Charles III, which is about, Prince Charles becoming the King of England. And that will air on BBC TV this Wednesday, so if this goes up when it's supposed to, the following day, after the upload.
Cool.
And it stars Tim Pickett-Smith, who sadly has just passed away, so that's going to be strange to watch, but... yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
First time writer, not too familiar with his work. But if this is anything to go by, mixed feelings on this one.
Yep. This is not... Well, I hesitate to call it a bad episode of Doctor Who, but as Series 10 goes, this is so far, without a doubt, the least good episode of Series 10 so far.
Yes, it's average. It's average at best.
It's very
And I think you summed it up best in your review on your blog about it being the spooky one, quote unquote.
Which I got hilariously wrong because next week looks like
I was going to say it's not the only spooky one.
You know the trope.
It's a haunted house one. We've had them before in the new series. We had it with Hyde, which I similarly wasn't a huge fan of.
Yeah, I mean, you had Hyde had a haunted house sort of thing, and the God Complex is kinda...
Yeah, the God Complex is very different. That was a hotel.
I was watching this with my friend. Yeah, I was watching this with my friend, and he said that it reminded him of that episode as we were watching. So, it was nice.
I think the problem is it's trying to be a sort of stock horror story, and therefore it's chock full of stock horror story cliches, and it never really gets out of that. Without a doubt.
Like, I did write in the blog that, and this is something that noted Doctor Who blogger Phil Sandifer said as well that his goalpost, his bar for Doctor Who now is do something that I haven't seen before. So, I mean, you had the pilot, which had weird alien puddle chasing people through time. You had Smile, which was sort of a big, heavy exploration thing, and the robots, and they were the dominant life form or something that was going on there at the end. And Thin Ice, which had cool fish under the ice, and a race that's getting his comeuppance. Which hasn't really happened to Doctor Who before. But then you get to Knock Knock, and it's like, oh, well, it's spooky. It's the haunted house. So we've done this shit before. Oh.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, you're the old Doctor Who resident expert.
I'm not even talking about old Doctor Who. I'm talking about revival.
No, I know you're talking about revival, but I'm sure they've done. Wasn't like Ghostlight a haunted house.
I mean, you can go. Ghostlight's a haunted house. I guess Pyramid of Mars is kind of in the spooky house.
Isn't Ghostlight really good?
Oh, Ghostlight is really good.
Like,
Ghostlight
really
is also confusing as all shit. Yeah. It's a McCoy episode. I mean, they're all really good in their own way. Even Time and Alani has some kitschy, weird charms to it. I would hesitate to call it good, but it's interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of difficult to review in a way. It's kind of difficult to review without going into topics. But let's get into the topics because we're sort of flagging a bit here.
Well, going on the whole spooky thing, I can say one thing about it. Is that a lot of Doctor Who episodes take some sort of established thing and twist it and make it Doctor Who does this, right? Like, The Brain of Morbius is Doctor Who does Frankenstein. The Weeping Angels are just Doctor Who does a J-horror monster. I hesitate to think of more examples, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Doctor Who does this.
Sleep No More was Doctor Who does found footage.
Yeah, exactly. But the vibe I got from Knock Knock was Doctor Who does Cabin in the Woods, which is a movie that came out in, I'm going to say 2013. Raniac, look it up in post and put the date over the thing in subtitle whenever it came out, if I'm wrong. Which is an absolutely brilliant little horror movie that you really should see. I'm not going to spoil too much of what goes on in it, but it's basically sort of almost the same setup. You got a bunch of college kids. They go to a place, an isolated place, and they get picked off by monsters. And it's all engineered. They're getting picked off, and it's all happened before, and it's all to maintain some sort of status quo. Right?
So far, so familiar.
Still with me on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so far, so familiar, except what Knock Knock is lacking is the actual, like, brilliance of Cabin in the Woods, because Cabin in the Woods is, like, this big deconstruction sort of thing, and it has an amazing final act. But Knock Knock, well, it does pull a Doctor Who-ish twist, but that doesn't really save it. And I just feel like there are a lot of interesting ideas floating here, but they're not really fleshed out. And now, I am a proponent of ambiguity in my Doctor Who, right? But in this case, I'm not saying that it's bad because, they don't explain this really big thing and it creates a plot hole, and that's bad writing bullshit. What my complaint is that the ambiguity, the things they just barely bring up, if they fleshed it out more, it would actually be really interesting and cool, I think, and would make the episode better. But instead it's just brought up and then it's just sort of drops away, and you're just like, well, that's a bit of a letdown. You can actually make a really neat thing. You can make the story really cook if you went into that a little more, why this was here, or why that happened, or why 20 years. But no, it doesn't. It just sort of goes along.
I haven't actually seen Cabin in the Woods yet. I've been meaning to, because I know it's a very good film. So I cannot say myself whether or not your comparison is right, but I'm sure it is.
No, that's the basic vibe I get. I don't think that Mike Bartlett is specifically aping Cabin in the Woods, but as Cabin in the Woods is a deconstruction of stock horror stuff, and this is pretty much stock horror, the spooky one in the haunted house, that's why I get the same feeling, I think. Yeah.
Another thing this episode kind of had as going as a detriment is, well, not a detriment, some of the moments were genuinely unnerving and genuinely scary. At least the first time you watched it.
I mean, okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, for all I'm complaining, there is actually some really fucking creepy imagery in this one. Like, Pavel half absorbed into the wall, and his eyes are like whited over, and they're fluttering. That's fucking horrific.
And then the landlord comes in, turns off the music, and he gets fully absorbed. Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's like the ending of Love and Monsters, but actually horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can look at me. I'm invocating Time of the Rani, and I'm invoking Love and Monsters. Wow, what terribly regarded.
See, enough, Kat said when I said, the house is eating people, she said that brings up too many painful memories of Love and Monsters, and she was proven to be right.
Oh God, yes. I have a few points from Kat that I'll bring up later.
I know what that's about.
About that ambiguity shit I mentioned.
But the thing I found is that even though there needed to be like revelations and surprises later on, like plot twists, they kind of lessened the scares as a result. Like, I don't want to go into this too much now, because I want to talk about the resolution and the ending and its own little thing, because that I thought was one of the stronger parts of it. With the exception of one element, which was the weakest part of that entire thing. And you know what I'm going to talk about. But,
well, we'll see. I mean,
let's just finally move on to a topic of conversation then. Usually we would talk about the Doctor, but he didn't really have that much to talk about that wasn't connected to Bill.
Well, I really do like a few things about the Doctor in this episode. The fact that all the college-age kids just know him as Professor Doctor. And he's trying to be hip and hang out with the kids. I liked that. That was nice.
The bit where he embarrasses Bill by getting her phone and playing Little Mix was quite nice, yeah.
You're going to have to explain Little Mix to me.
Little Mix is a band, an all-girl band that won X Factor, which is a talent show over here, and they are pretty successful.
So they're 2017 Spice Girls, is what you're telling me.
Not 2017, but yes.
Alright.
And One Direction was also put together on a talent show. Things like that.
Man, we really are talking about the spooky one. We're invoking One Direction.
Oh God, I hope not. Can't stand One Direction. Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta kick it up to 2 directions at least.
I hate to say this about Belle, but I kind of didn't like some of the way she was portrayed this time. I've praised Pearl Mackie.
She has one or two good moments.
Yeah, go on.
I really liked her talking to her mom's picture.
That was nice, yeah.
And I don't know if this is getting too much into the resolution, but I do like how she points out that the Doctor's whole sussing out of the plot, and she actually pipes up with, actually, Doctor, that doesn't make any sense because this and this.
Yes, which is what the companion is supposed to do, really.
Yeah.
There was one bit that was cheered by the internet at large. Well, some fans cheered it.
I think I know what you're going to talk about, but go on.
It was how casually she came out to Paul that she was a lesbian.
Oh, yeah, that I don't know. I'm not really qualified to talk about that.
Me neither, but I do know that people are celebrating it.
Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. Her being unambiguously out is fine. I don't know if the way she just casually said it was sort of a bit abrupt or not.
I think people were appreciate it because it wasn't made into a big thing. It was just like, yeah, I tend to prefer girls. It's like, oh, I'm absolutely fine with that. So I never had a chance. That's great. And then they move on.
Okay, that is good. That is good. I don't know. I am not really qualified to talk about it.
I think perhaps the bigger thing that they were celebrating is the fact that the male character takes it in such a good way.
Okay, that is good. That is good. I'll give him that.
That's about the only thing Paul does of any merit in this story.
Well, he does, right in that scene, do the typical cliche, ooh, I'm trying to scare you. Ooh, we're in a spooky house. Ah! Oh, yes. It's not funny anymore. Stop. Ooh.
And then he screams.
It's an actual scare now. Oh, that is really, that's something, but it's also just the most stock thing. Oh my God.
I don't know if this was Moffat's doing or Mike Bartlett's, but they actually have Bill and the Doctor separated for a lot of the story.
Well, that really just brings to mind that's very classic series to me, actually. Is that, in like most of the classic series stories, the Doctor and Companion arrive on this planet, and they both immediately get captured by different factions, and they're separated, and they're both learning about the situation they're in from opposite angles. Which is what happens here. The Doctor learns about the space woodlice, and Bill learns about the girl in the tower.
Yeah.
So it's the same sort of thing, dynamic going on here, just separated out quickly in the 45 minutes. I'm sure the new show has done this as well, in places.
But the point I was trying to make earlier is that in the pilot, we established Bill as this rather empathetic character for the audience, didn't we? Like, the audience could relate to her pretty easily. And Smile, there was character development, and then Thin Ice, there was some really big character development. It was all in a positive direction. This story kind of puts us back on a downward slope with that, because she is so different in this one to how she was in the other three, regarding her attitude towards the Doctor. She's almost embarrassed to be around him.
They're playing it as sort of a weird comedy trope thing of like, oh no, he's my space granddad. Oh, he's really embarrassing. Please just go on and have space adventures and let me live my life.
But that to me was jarring, because we've just come literally a week removed from Thin Ice, where she's basically like impressed with him for the very first time, like openly impressed. I mean, there was one review that took it further and said that this scene after he gives the speech to racist man, Lord Sutcliffe, this was the first time we can see that Bill sort of loves the Doctor. Like, platonic love, not like a relationship love.
Oh, yeah, no.
And we go from that to this. It's just a bit jarring for me.
I can see where you're coming from, yeah. It could be that these episodes were filmed, like, out of order.
No, they weren't, though. So. Thin Ice and Not were filmed in the same production block.
Really? Wow!
Which makes this even more weird.
That is pretty...
And curiously enough, these first four episodes were filmed before the Christmas special, so...
Holy shit! Really?
Well, that's not uncommon, though.
Okay.
Okay. And the line about this is the part of my life you don't get to be in. That I was okay with, because we've seen that before. Clara during Series 7, it was sort of magically retconned out of existence for Series 8 mostly. I think Amy and Rory sort of did that for parts of their life.
Yeah,
because they were aging more rapidly and people were noticing it.
The back half of Amy and Rory's time was that.
Yeah. It just seems a bit strange for her to say that to him. And I don't know, it's like she was a different character almost.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'm afraid Bill's upward trajectory has kind of gone off on a bit of a downward slope. But hopefully next week, Oxygen, it'll pick back up.
Yeah, let's get some competent Bill. I mean, it's a sci-fi plot again, so she should have that savviness.
Yeah, she didn't have that savviness in this one, did she?
No, I mean, yeah, it's sci-fi. Hers is sci-fi, and this is a horror thing.
Yeah, so, true. So she's in the wrong genre.
You're in a creaky house. I mean, not to really stack the deck or anything.
Oh, creaky house! You just reminded me something I forgot to mention at the beginning. There was a special version of this broadcast online.
Oh, yeah.
Which was binaural, which is just a fancy word for, best listened to using headphones.
Surround sound.
It was a lot better listening to it through headphones. It was a lot more immersive and spooky in that regard.
Oh, yeah. The scene right after Paul gets got, where the knocks come from all over the house, I can imagine that would be really great with headphones.
It really was. I kind of wish, almost in a way, I'd done that first. But I always watch it on the TV first, if I can help it, to get the full experience. Then I go off and listen to it on headphones to make my notes from the second watch.
Oh yeah,
so I
don't use the headphones, but
I kind of took that away from myself.
Oh well, I haven't seen the binaural version, so. Yeah.
So you've already alluded to the fact that Bill is not the only tenant in this haunted house. There are actually 5 others. And there is absolutely no substance to nearly any of them.
I mean, even in a shitty horror movie, you'd have, like, the trope types. Like, one would be the pure one would be the stoner, one would be the jock, one would be the pretty girl. But I guess there's none of that in here because this is a children's program, and you can't have your people smoking pot and drinking beers.
No, but you can give them formed characters.
Oh yeah, you can give them actual character, of course.
Which they didn't.
Nah. You got the music one, the Scottish one, the anxious one, the other one.
Exactly.
And Harry.
Pavel's got no character at all because he's the first to go.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the first big mysteries.
Is eccentric, weird music artsy nerd because Paul is like, oh, he's playing a record. That's so Pavel.
Well, possibly. Apart from the fact they didn't really know each other because Bill's actually introduced to them by one of the ladies. I think it's Shireen. Mm-hmm. For the first time at the beginning of the episode.
Shireen, that's the other one. Yeah.
So it's entirely possible they didn't actually know each other that well, and that's not. Speaking from experience, that's not entirely.
Why couldn't Bill have a bunch of mates? Why?
Exactly. It's not entirely unusual for people you don't necessarily know to room together at university.
I mean, I didn't know any of my roommates in the university.
Yeah. Well, I went through the university accommodation. I didn't actually rent a house.
Well, I've done both. So.
But I know friends who have rented a house, and mostly on those occasions, actually, they did all know each other. But there was one or two where maybe one person knew somebody and one person knew somebody else, and they sort of formed a group that way.
And in my case, I met the people in dorms, and then after I came back a term and found out that they had moved into a house in the next term. After that, I moved into their house, and then we got some new roommates who we had no idea who they were.
I'm quite worried that there's a trend that's sort of developing here where the side characters are not interesting.
Sucks.
This series. I mean, Heather was kind of interesting, but she was also the monster of the week, so does she really count as a side character? I'm not sure.
Smile's side characters
sucked. Let's be honest, they just sucked.
Tin Ice's side characters were literal children.
Yeah, they were okay, but they didn't have much depth to them.
Just some comedy Dickens types.
Yes.
You know, it's like an Oliver Twist running around.
And then you have these dweebs who...
Bunch of college-age kids. Oh, look, it's monster fodder for the monster. Oh,
there was only one of them that kind of stood out, and he stood out for a specific reason, and they didn't even put it in the episode.
Oh, yeah, this.
And that was Harry. And as you found out, there was actually supposed to be a line in the episode that revealed that Harry had a famous grandfather. Oh, that's right. Harriet Jones got a name drop. I forgot about that. That was cool.
Yes, we know who she is.
Who's the Prime Minister? Harriet Jones? Margaret Thatcher? I'm not sure what was up with that. Was he like testing the landlord, or?
Yeah, trying to see if he was contemporary Earth person.
Oh, I get you now.
Yeah.
I like how the landlord completely just didn't react to it. After he asked who the Prime Minister was, he's like, I think it's best you leave your granddaughter here for the night. He just didn't react. He just couldn't be bothered at all.
Yeah, I mean,
back to Harry. Back to Harry, yeah. His grandfather is none other than Harry Sullivan.
You mean that Harry Sullivan?
I mean that Harry Sullivan. Now, if the people listening to this don't know who Harry Sullivan is in relation to Doctor Who, don't worry, we've got you covered.
Harry Sullivan is an imbecile!
Yeah, that Harry Sullivan, the imbecile. He's actually been referenced before in the Zygon episodes that he developed the gas that turned them inside out, turned the Zygons inside out.
Just one sniff of that bug and you're inside out.
Oh, God damn it. How did we not think of that when we did that review, by the way? How did we not think of that?
Because we were too busy fanning over that speech. Probably.
Oh, yeah. That was a pretty good speech. But yeah, for some reason they left that line out. I'm not sure why. Is it canon? Because sometimes the deleted scenes and deleted lines are canon, and sometimes they're not.
It's canon to me now.
I think it's been officially acknowledged as canon. I'm not quite sure why they left it out in that case. The major problem I have
about Doctor Who canon. Have you tried to explain Atlantis in Doctor Who?
All right. We won't go into the canon rant, but one thing, the major thing I had a problem with these tenants is the fact, this is going to sound cruel as hell, but it's the fact they survived. That they all survived. Because this is a horror story, and you're not supposed to have the victims come back.
I guess then I thought it was going to be too dark, but then again, this is Doctor Who we're talking about.
Yeah, but it also creates another problem, which we'll, when we talk about the resolution, we will get to. But yeah, they were pretty weak. I mean, they didn't act it particularly badly, but they didn't make a particularly lasting impression at all.
Yeah.
Not even Harry with his famous grandfather. Although Harry getting devoured by the woodlice or the dryads, that was a really cool visual effect.
Oh Jesus! The stairs snapping shut on us. That reminds me of like the Thing, where the doctor is trying to revive the dude, and he's going clear, and his guy's stomach opens up and eats his arms. Holy shit!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Yeah,
and people have said, why didn't the Doctor use the sonnet to save Harry from the steps? It doesn't work on wood.
We've
established it doesn't work on wood.
It doesn't work on wood. It doesn't work on wood louses.
Oh, nice.
See, this is what I'm talking about with the ambiguity. This is what I was talking about with the ambiguity thing. If you had a line where the Doctor was like, it doesn't work on wood, can't do much with that, so... Yeah, that would have cleared it up. Instead, it's just like, wait, are we supposed to ignore that? Or is there a reason for that? Do I just forget about it? What do I do? What do I do, Mike Bartlett? What do I do?
But it was a really nicely realised visual effect the first time. Once you've seen it more than once, it kind of loses its appeal.
Well, it is really fucking gross, the bugs.
It happened 3 separate times.
Yeah. So it's a gnarly visual.
It happened to Harry, then it happened to Shireen, and finally it happened to Eliza. And the villain, arguably, of this piece, isn't the best character in this whole damn thing. The landlord. The landlord, played by David Suchet.
What do you mean, arguably? Killed, like, 36 people.
Okay, well, he had his reasons. But yes. Yeah. He's the villain, but is he well... Is he evil or is he just insane?
He's misguided, we'll say.
Misguided, certainly.
Misguided, but also lacking empathy for other people than him.
Lacking empathy, but my god, what a performance.
Oh, well, yeah. This is the person you were most excited for. When you saw the trailer, you're like, David Suchet! Oh,
Hercule Poirot sharing the screen with Peter Capaldi? You're damn right I was excited about that. And I was right to be. Because while the episode for me was disappointing overall, Suchet's performance was not. And him sharing the screen with Capaldi was a delight.
Okay.
And it was a very nuanced performance. He brought a lot of substance to this character. Yes, he's just the landlord. We never found out his actual name. But we don't need to.
Yeah. He's a soul. Man.
And he goes through the whole gamut of emotions. He's sort of like, at the beginning, he's this sort of creepy old dude. You know, there's obviously something is very wrong with him, or he's doing something very wrong, because he's creeping about, and he's like, oh, nice and affable. So, of course, that means that he's going to turn out to be evil incarnate. And then he's like, it's the bit where it's like, how do you get into the terror? He goes, you don't. Like, just like that on a sixpence.
Ooh, yeah.
Really, really good. Really, really good acting in general. And also him showing emotion at the end.
There you go.
And actually kind of making you feel a little bit sorry for him, but also not.
Yeah, not really. No.
Like, I was sort of a little bit sorry for him, but also disgusted that he'd done this.
36 people for his wooden mommy.
36?
I don't know. I just cut that number in my head.
I think it was 24. I think there were 4 lots of tenants.
Okay, 4.
And that's assuming there was the same number of tenants each time. But
I think there was.
There is one thing. How was he able to keep just, like, appearing at random, like appearing out of nowhere? They never really...
That's something that doesn't really... Like, on first watch, your natural assumption is that he's some sort of creepy alien and he's following a bunch of rules.
I thought he was a ghost.
Goes on about... Yeah, a ghost, whatever. But it's all about, you signed the contract, now pay the price, and all this stuff. And there's the fact that every 20 years he does the same trick. So it makes it seem like he's an alien following, like, Moffat-era level of rules. Like, every 20 years he can come and get these people, but only if they sign the contract. Like, he's some sort of law ghost or some shit. But no, he's just a guy.
Yeah, I like his tuning fork.
Oh, yes, that's a nice little visual. That's another thing, again, with the ambiguity. Why 20 years? Which, it gives me shades of Stephen King's It, where the fucking clown comes to life every 27 years to kill people, because it's a natural cycle thing. That's the rules of the monster, yeah?
Yeah.
But there's no rules to this. It's 20 years because that's what the writer put down. It could be 10 years. It could be 5 years. It could be 1 year. If it's just a guy, it doesn't really matter. But Kat did come up with a couple of theories to pave over that sort of thing and explain why. One is to do with 20 years might be something to do with treating a wood deck, which is something she actually Googled. So, like, every 20 years,
oh, nice.
Could be that Eliza might need to be refreshed, which I guess that could work. Another is that 20 years might be long enough for the families of the college kids to stop looking for them and move on with their lives, no investigations, no bullshit like that, which,
yeah.
I mean, as I said, it's fine to come up with these theories. It doesn't really break the episode and break my immersion and go, there's a plot hole in my Doctor Who. But at the same time, explaining this shit would actually make the episode crackle a little bit better and give you a little more meat to work with, you know?
It's almost like the episode was rushed.
Maybe. I don't know. But, yeah. Otherwise, you're just sitting there thinking, okay, yeah, on first watch, you're like, ooh, every 20 years. Oh, that's probably a clue. Ooh, man, there's probably some sort of reason for that, and then there's nothing. So
I like both explanations that she gives, Kat gives.
Oh, yeah, Kat's explanations are good. Would be nice if the episode actually used some of them, or came up with its own explanation, or anything other than the nothing.
The second one makes more sense to me because if you think about when somebody goes missing, it might be different in your country or in America, for example. But over here, when someone goes missing, there's a certain amount of years before they can be declared legally dead.
Is it really 20 years? I thought
it's not 20. No, it's not 20. But
I thought it was more like 5 years.
I think the minimum time is 7. But let's take a real life example of Richie Edwards from the Mount Street Preachers, the Welsh band, the Mount Street Preachers. He just upped and disappeared one day. Yeah. They found his car. They didn't find him. They've never found his body.
So he was legally dead after 7
He was not declared legally dead until 2008.
Oh, jeez.
So it depends. 1995.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So it depends on
so
it depends on the person, but I think the point is, by that time, people would have stopped assuming they were going to come home. 20 years.
I mean, that opens up a whole other plot hole thing if you delve more into this thinking critically. Business and trying to paper over plot holes, you come up with more like, what about the families of the people? Wouldn't the kids mention that they moved into a creepy house with an old man? Wouldn't people look for the old man? Wouldn't people investigate the house? What is this? Why is why?
That's kind of the problem, isn't it? The more you try to fill in the plot holes, the more you end up creating new ones.
Yeah, at a certain point, it does actually matter. So preempting this by giving an explanation in an episode actually would have worked in this case.
Yes.
But Kat's explanations are pretty good, but the problem is that it just opens up a whole other can of worms when you try to fill it in, rather than the writer actually trying to fill it in himself.
But for me, the landlord was the big highlight of the whole thing, and the fact that he was basically a child still at heart. Mm-hmm. I like that part about him. Hence why he's got
there was a little bit of petulance to him as well, like, no, you do what I say.
Yes.
And all this, you're not. And all this, no, I get what I want. We gotta destroy them.
Because he never grew up.
Never grew up. Nope.
In some respects, he's the prisoner of the house. I mean, the house is eating people.
And Eliza's literally trapped in there.
Yes, Eliza is literally trapped in there. This is actually kind of a good parallel between what's going on with the vault and here.
Oh, God.
Like the landlord and the doctor, you can say it, they are
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know if you're on something here.
They are counterparts of each other, which means they are
doppelgangers.
Oh, now you're not saying the word. Fine, I'll say it. They're mirrors of each other.
You said the bad word.
We've already established that doesn't have any power over me anymore.
Oh, okay. What is this? The end of Labyrinth now?
Okay.
Am I the fucking Goblin King? Oh my god, the Goblin King had a goddamn reflective surface. Oh my god, I am the Goblin King. Oh my god, there's a David Bowie record in this episode. Oh my god.
Oh, I brought this on myself.
Okay.
I brought this on myself. But yeah, I think he's the best villain we've had in a while, like the human villain anyway.
Oh, Lord Shitlord?
Well, yeah, but Lord Sutcliffe, Lord Shitlord, Lord Suckdick, as Kachiri Kristen, which I quite liked. He was one-dimensional, and this guy wasn't.
Yeah. Well,
okay, well, maybe not the best villain, but the best performance by a villain.
There you go. Okay, that's good.
In quite some time.
What was the last? Fucking Bonnie.
Yeah, I forgot about Bonnie for a second there. She was brilliant.
That was like the last really, really, really good new villain I think they've had.
Well, new in inverted commas because it's just Clara, but as a Zygon. But yeah.
Still.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that one. So the landlord is not the monster, although technically he is the monster. But the actual monster is his. Well, it's thought to be his daughter, but we actually find out it's his mother, and that is Eliza.
She's not a monster. She's just a victim.
Her name. Well, she has a monstrous appearance.
She's a tree.
But she's actually
not
a bad person. Well, all right, monstrous in the sense of different from the norm.
It's okay.
Unusual. The actress is called Mariah Gale.
Mm-hmm.
You could say that her performance was very wooden.
Get out. I'm hosting this podcast now.
No, you're not. We've already done that joke. I'm sorry. It low-hanging fruit. I had to go for it. It's kind of a shame to me that her appearance was actually spoiled prior to broadcast. Again.
I didn't see it, so.
Well, it's the bit where she peeks out from behind the screen and she's a tree person.
Okay. It
kind of took away from the powerfulness of the moment.
I didn't get that. I didn't get spoiled, so I got to see
that big reveal. Well, you did all right then. In some respects, her relationship with the landlord has echoes for me of the Dr. Dances.
Yeah, I mean, and if you want to talk about echoes of Dr. Dances, everybody lives again in Dr. Dances.
Except the landlord and Eliza, but yes.
Except the landlord, but you get the idea.
I do get the idea,
and there's also lots of tiny little things. Yeah, so it's weird.
Please don't give the Doctor Who's no longer original crowd any more ammunition, please.
Christ alive.
And she has ultimate control over the landlord, which you'd expect, because, she's his mother. At the end. She has control over the Dryads, too, which was a little bit hokey.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on with the Dryads.
Yeah, why did they turn her wooden in the first place?
Yeah.
Never explained.
I got one more point to bring up with the Dryad. Are we gonna nitpick the Dryads now, or you want to wait for a second?
Well, I can't think of much more to talk about Eliza.
Oh, I can. Eliza? Yeah, okay. I can wait.
Yeah, but the Dryads were okay. I mean, alien woodlice.
Yeah, they kind of look like little tiny macra. They've got the little eye stalks.
Yeah. The motivations are never explained.
But then again, yeah. But they're bugs.
But the landlord was there to explain for them.
Okay, yeah.
Why did they petrify Eliza into wood? Why did they have to eat people every 20 years?
Again, it's 20 years thing. It could be 5. It could be 10. Who the hell knows?
Okay, but
what does it have to do with Eliza? We don't know.
They must have a hell of a digestion. They must have a hell of a digestion tract.
The big thing for me. Yeah.
If they only eat 20 years every 20 years, they must have a hell of a digestive system.
the big thing for me with the dryads, and this is actually like a plot hole sort of thing, so I'm just going to bring it up for posterity, is at the end, the house like sort of disintegrates, right? Because it was made of dryads, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. One, what the hell how the hell did they take control of the total house? I mean, Eliza had to live in an actual house not made of alien bugs before, didn't she?
Doctor says they're not just in the wood, they are the wood.
So what, they were built, okay, so the house was built out of them or some shit, I don't know.
No, they sort of become the wood, they've sort of taken over the wood, like they've eaten the wood and taken its place.
Second thing, house disintegrates at the end. Not, the entirety of that house was not made of wood, there was fucking stone.
Yeah.
What is up with that shit?
That ending is rather weak.
And what about all their stuff? Like, that's not made of wood. What was that shit?
And it's made weaker by the fact that the previous victims from 1957, 1977, 1997, they're not its fill.
Well, I guess they were already, like, digested. So
I guess, but that was just a bit weird.
The 2017 people are fresh, so there's, like, there, Eliza can actually sense them, I guess.
For me, a better ending would have been, the landlord and Eliza embrace. She commands the dryads to devour them and end the cycle of terror, and then Bill and the Doctor just walk away as the survivors.
I guess.
I can only surmise that maybe the reason why they save the tenants at the end is because they might be showing up again as sort of background characters.
Maybe. I don't know if they didn't want to get too dark, but I mean,
similar to the Maitland.
We have had stories where everybody but the Doctor and companion die before.
Yeah.
So.
It's just me. I'm just bloodthirsty. That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, you're in a stock horror movie. You want to see the people get
We paid for blood, God damn it!
Give me the blood.
It's not the... So that's the ending of the episode. Is there a knock in there, by the way?
Oh, wait. That's not the ending of the episode.
No. The actual ending, we get more insight into this vault nonsense.
By insight, we mean bloody great signpost.
Okay, so we now know it's definitely one person, individual thing.
Absolutely.
We know that the Doctor knows them intimately.
And we know that they perk up and play Pop Goes the Weasel on their piano at the thought of college-age kids getting eaten.
So all the clues add up. Here's exactly what's going to happen. Episode 6, the vault opens, and in there is Liberace tinkling on the ivories.
No, shit. Actually, it's probably a safer bet would be that it's Missy.
Yeah.
Which, again, we don't know the how of it. We don't know. So that's still a mystery, but holy goddamn Moffat. We did the Song and Dance in Series 8 where you all but signposted it was Missy and beat us over the head with it, and any savvy Doctor Who viewer, which you have trained us to be during your era, knows it. I mean, for God's sakes, Moffat.
I mean,
you're just retreading the...
If it is Missy, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Because it brings her back.
Yeah, I mean, but also, like, it's just... Moffat is just repeating the same ground he's doing. He's fucking mirroring himself. Wait.
Yeah.
Shit.
No. We've kind of had this before. I've realised this is... I thought this was like the Series 8 Missy thing again. It's not.
Oh.
It's actually...
you're not actually...
It's closer to Series 6.
Oh.
I think it's closer to the whole, Amy is actually a flesh avatar ganger thing. Not in terms of resolution, but in terms of the way it's done. Like, every episode, there's a new clue. It's a new instance of something happening.
So clues to that beyond just Van and Kavarian opening up in random space and being like, "Hello, I'm evil."
Yeah, there were a couple of clues, like the whole pregnant not pregnant scanner on the TARDIS.
Oh, okay.
And a couple of other things, but we're not talking about Series 6. So here you've got Episode 1 introduces the vault and the idea that there is a prisoner inside it.
Episode 2...
didn't really do a huge amount, it must be said.
Episode 3 spooked Nardo with knocking.
Yeah, and we also found out that it's a person. and that Nardole gave that
And
line like,
episode 4. Yeah.
Well, biggest reveal yet.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Doctor can open the vault at any time.
And it's just,
So that's all right then.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong there. What?
Good job undermining the entire thing there, Moffat. I mean,
I don't understand where this arc is going. I don't know if I like it yet, but I did like the end up of Series 8 where Missy came out because Missy was great and Michelle Gomez is a national treasure and is wonderful.
She is that.
I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know where this is going to go. If it is Missy, that'll be really great.
Yeah, if it's just a convoluted way to get Missy back into the series, then great, because, you can never have Missy in my opinion.
Do we need a convoluted way to get Missy back into the series?
No, just have her reappear. I am
said this before.
I am wondering if maybe we are being played here by Moffat somewhat, and it's somebody else in there.
I mean,
I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to speculate.
I'm not going to. We can speculate.
It would be nice if somebody who was not actually previously announced for Series 10 turned out to be in that vault, like Rolf the dog. But
what? Oh Jesus!
You've never watched the Muppets, have you?
Oh, that.
Yeah, Rolf the piano playing dog.
Oh jeez, I didn't even realize what you were doing. Oh God.
Well, I only made a Liberace joke. I had to make a different one.
Christ.
But yeah, if it's somebody different than the one that we expect, which is Missy, great. If it's Missy, okay, fair enough. Let's see where it goes from there. I can't really, I just can't really talk any more about it. I mean, I don't feel the need.
About that yet.
It's not that we can't talk about that yet. I just don't feel the need to. I'm prepared to just let the mystery unfold, but I want it to be over sooner rather than later. If we have to wait another 6 pigging episodes for it, I will not be happy.
Same.
But the next Stephen Moffat episode is episode 6, so I think there might be the opening there, the grand reveal.
That would be an interesting way to do the arc. You just get the fucking money shot out of the way, and then develop the situation over the rest of the series before the finale. That would be really interesting.
That's a better way of doing it, in my opinion.
That is definitely a better way of doing it than just, hey, what's in here? Hey, what's in here? Hey, what's in here? You'll never guess it. You'll never guess it. It's this! Oh, wait, you guessed it already because you're smart. Oops.
It's kind of like a series arc Pandorica, isn't it, The Vault?
Yeah, I never guessed I never really guessed what the deal with the Pandorica was, but yeah, no.
Yeah, but that was done in one episode. It was done really, really well, because you didn't have time to think, okay, who's in this then? Before it was revealed that actually nobody was in it.
The cracks were more the mystery of Series 5.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the idea of a box with a prisoner in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been done in Series 5, but Series 5 did it better because it didn't give you time to build up a picture of who might be in there, or what.
And it also has a stellar cliffhanger.
Yeah. Whoever it is, we know can play the piano like a beast. So I don't know if that's an actual clue, like if there was any sort of piano-playing genius that we've seen before, but who knows. So let's wait,
Oh my god! Hang on! This is episode 4 of Series 10. Episode 4 of Series 9 was Before the Flood, and that had the Beethoven paradox in it. It's Beethoven!
Illuminati confirmed. So let's wrap this up, shall we? With our overall thoughts. Yes. What were your thoughts on Knock Knock? I know it's a hide then. What were your thoughts on Knock Knock? Just that?
Okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
I'll go in a little more with that. It was a story that's pretty typical Doctor Who spooky stuff. A lot of the scares were actually pretty good. A lot of the visuals were pretty good. And that guy, David Suchet, was pretty good also. But the rest of it was just stock, usual stuff. And there was lots of stuff. For the first time, my whole ambiguity approach falls apart because the ambiguity stuff would actually make the episode more interesting and also more coherent. Rather than just more coherent, like most plot hole complaining people want the Doctor Who to be.
Mm-hmm. I have to.
So in the end, it's the least good episode of Series 10 so far. But considering that, as I just said, the episode 4 of Series 9 was fucking Before the Flood, which is that same sort of, hey, you need the plot explained to you, foreshadowed so succinctly, and hammer it into your head because you're not a smart Doctor Who viewer, except it's the Moffat era, and we have trained you to be picking up on those clues. None of that shit. So this is bad Series 10. Doctor Who, then we're in for good shit, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
what did you think?
I have to agree with you, mostly. I thought the episode was decently spooky. I've already said it, but I thought it was a brilliant performance by David Suchet. Really, really good. But the plot didn't hold together that well, kind of like the house didn't hold together that well. Half. And the revelations kind of lessened the scare factor somewhat later on. I think it's the weakest one of the series so far, which unfortunately means that the hot streak is over. And I might have actually been a bit guilty of building this episode up in my mind a bit too much, which probably didn't help matters. So,
I mean, I did a little bit.
Yeah, well, I had the whole Suchet hype thing going on, which didn't help. But he didn't disappoint. The episode did.
Exactly.
Yeah, but weakest of the bunch so far. But if that's the weakest, we'll be doing pretty darn good. I kind of hope that is the weakest.
Oh yeah, same. I mean, Before the Flood was the weakest Series 9, and Series 9 turned out okay, I guess.
Right now it's at the bottom of my list, but who knows what the next 8 weeks could bring.
We'll see.
For better or for worse. Hopefully for better. Speaking of better, next time looks like an absolute corker.
It's another spooky one.
Yes, but written by Jamie Matheson, who has a proven history with this series.
Oh, shit! Okay, now I am a little hyped.
Next time we have Oxygen.
Ooh.
Base under siege with zombies in spacesuits. Sign me up. Plot synopsis.
That's a bit typical Doctor Who too, but I guess it's Matheson. He'll probably throw in
plot synopsis. Then the Doctor, Bill, and Nardole, interestingly, answer a distress call in deep space and find themselves trapped on board space station Chasm Forge. All but 4 of the crew have been murdered, and the dead are still walking. In a future where oxygen is sold by the breath and spacesuits are valued more highly than their occupants, the TARDIS crew battle for survival against the darkest evil of all.
Capitalism!
Quite possibly.
I mean, you're talking about oxygen by the breath and spacesuits more valuable.
It could be!
Capitalism!
It could be!
Zombies! Oh my god, is this going to be a fucking anti-capitalist Doctor Who?
That's really going to appease that crowd, isn't it? My
word. My god. Well, it appeases me because I'm a stupid, dumb lefty, so yay.
You heard it here first. Except we didn't, because your tendencies are quite well known, and that's fine. You're entitled to them.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Trailer looked really good. Trailer looked really good. There was a moment at the end which I'm not going to mention by name because, or talk about it in depth because Kat's trying to avoid spoilers. But a very interesting end shot.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
The final shot of the next time trailer.
I wouldn't worry about that. It's just
no. I think that's just a bit of a fake out. But it will be interesting to see what happens, and we will find out what happens next time.
I think I accidentally hyped up this episode a bit too much for me. It's probably not going to be an anti-capitalist Doctor Who.
I'm sorry if I've done that and ruined it for you. I'm sorry.
I think it's well. We'll see. I think it's still going to be fun.
I am looking forward to it, and honestly, I've been looking forward to it ever since I found out that A. Matheson was writing it and B. the concept, which I've known for a few weeks now.
I didn't know the concept, so that's actually really neat.
Hopefully we get a corker, and if we don't, then we don't. It is what it is.
Don't fuck it up, Matheson.
Don't fuck it up, Matheson. And now I'm mirroring you.
Send
God
the
damn it.
Ball after you.
And now I'm mirroring you again. God damn it. Right.
I don't even have to do it. I only did it this time, and you did it more than me now.
Yes, on purpose. On purpose. That time was very much on purpose. The first time I was caught out, very much not on purpose. Very much being caught like an idiot, but not this time. Anyway, all that remains is to thank my guest, singular guest, FreezingInferno, for his time and joining me to talk about this episode.
Just don't dunk me in a vat of Pepto-Bismol again. At least you made it cherry.
That wasn't... You do realise that Kat Kachiri blamed that on me for a reason, don't you?
Wait, you're saying they did it? Do I gotta send the email after them now?
Why do you think they were in the review and you weren't? That's all I'm going to say.
If that's the case, well, in that case, you probably shouldn't ask about where Kat is.
I won't. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Thank you to you, the audience, for listening to us waffle on about this episode for the past hour or so. And we will see you next time, in some configuration anyway, to review Oxygen. Until then, I've been Reniac. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.